Good morning. I welcome to the session for data editing and analysis of the data. So in previous classes, we discussed more about primary data, secondary data, and data collection methods, questionnaire construction, and sampling, different types of sampling and all. And through the data collection method, we collected the data. The raw data is a raw data. It has to be converted into some meaningful information. When we processing the data, before we are processing the data, there are so many analysis is there. That is correlation analysis, regression, multiple regression. There are so many analyses are there. Again, depends on the requirement. We have to apply what sort of analysis. Before you are going for the analysis, we have to process the data which is applicable to the particular analysis. So one such is editing the data. That is, examine the collected data, detected some errors and omissions, and make it ready for future analysis. So in the editing data, whatever unwanted things, while you are collecting the data, the researcher might did some mistakes, or the respondent didn't answer properly, or we won't get the complete answer from the respondent. Some respondent, some questions they unanswered. Okay, so the researcher itself, the field super itself, according to his knowledge, he may edit certain things. That is called as field editing. That is, editing is nothing but unwanted things we are editing, or it is not useful for any process. Okay, after the field supervisor editing according to his knowledge, then the in-house editing, maybe the analyst, he very well knows about whether this data can be processed or not, but the field supervisor may not much exposure to that. So the analyst or the person who is working in the SPSS, he might know better if this data can be processed, or if we process, it may not be reveal the right data. So certain things again edited in the in-house or in before the uploaded in the computer. At that juncture we will edit it. That is called as in-house editing. Then coding of data, assigning the number or symbols with categorizing the data into groups. Maybe again earlier male 1 and female 2 that are already categorized in the questionnaire. Again male with educated, with uneducated, something we are grouping within the male or within the female. Like that we collected some responses from the respondent, again based on the demographic variables, maybe income or their class or their working environment, or based on the experience, or based on their area from where they are coming. Okay, based on that we can categorize the respondent into some groups. Okay, so for that when you are categorizing, these people are belongs to group A, group B. So again we are coding further. Then validating of data, omission of errors occurred during the data process. So again validating. Earlier we discussed about validating the questionnaire. Here the validating the data, the information is right or not. Okay, that is again carried out here, field editing or in-house editing. Editing after that, yes, is it reasonable or not? Okay, will it give meaningful information to the collected data or not? Okay, so validating data. So these are all comes under the qualitative research. Then when the editing, one such formation is cross tabulation. Maybe I collected the data as age in years 21 to 30 on classification. So in that there are 17 people, 31 to 40 years 24 people, 41 to 50 29, 51 to 60 16 people, and 61 and above 14 people. So this classification says meaningfully 100. And in the age of 21 to 31, how many people are having an income below 15,000? 2 members. Okay, how many people are having income between 15,000 to 30,000? 3 members. Okay, so like that it goes on. Okay, below 15,000 in the age group 2, 15,000 to 30,000 in the age group 3, 30,000 to 45,000 in the age group 1. Like that it goes on. And again the salary classification and age. Okay, again 31 to 40 between the salary below 15,000 4 members, 15 to 30,000 7 members. It's going like that. If you added the column total, that is below 15,000, how many people? 9 people. Between 15,000 to 30,000, 14 people. 30,000 1 rupee to 45,000, 15. 45 to 60, 27. 60 to 75, 18. 75 to 75 and above, 17. So again, if you add this will also come 100. So the 100 member categorized as based on the age, and again the 100 members also categorized based on the income and cross tabulation. Age and income, that is also classified. So we can easily understand people having 61 and above, and the salary is how much, or people are having between 51 to 60, how many people are below 50,000. It is easily we can understand. That is one of the model in editing the data, or when we are tabulating the data. It is a cross tabulation, one of the model to tabulate the collected data for better information. From that also we can calculate some percentage analysis or some weighted score. Okay, further that we'll see in the analysis part. And in the data analysis, in the data collection, case studies are one of the method which going in-depth study of the particular situation or particular product or particular person or particular program. Okay, so case study is one of the data collection method. So for this we no need to have that much of analysis, because everything we collected in detail. Okay, so for this type of data collection we won't go for any statistical references. That's all. The case study method describes a case in terms of its peculiarities, gives us an insight into typical or extreme cases whose unique features are not reflected by the usual statistical methods. So what I'm saying is, the case study, according to the each and every situation, every person's nature, it is going for an in-depth study. So there itself they collected whatever information they want, or there itself they understood the thing is going like that, the situation is going like that. So mostly in the case studies we won't apply any statistical methods for analyzing. Okay, so what we learned in this slide, yes, editing the data and cross tabulation and case studies. Okay, next we are coming for analysis. Okay, analysis, bivariate analysis and multivariate analysis, like that there are two types are there. Okay. Bivariate analysis nothing but analyzing the two variables. Under that bivariate analysis, correlation analysis, regression analysis. Okay. Correlation analysis nothing but analyzing the association between two variables. So in that R, coefficient of correlation is find out, and R squared coefficient of determination we are finding. Okay. Then from that we are having some meaningful information, meaningful inferences we will make. Okay. And bivariate regression analysis. In correlation, whether there is an association between two variables there or not, and if there is an association, whether the association is positive or negative, and to what extent it is associated. Okay, that everything is based on R value we will finalize, and R squared value is how much strength between these two variables. Okay, so here only two variables. in bivariate regression analysis also only two variables, but here we are coming to the concept of dependent variable and independent variable. Okay. In economics you studied because it is easy for you to say, to understand. Yes, a demand and price. A demand depends on the price, and price increases, demand decreases. Okay. So here there is an association between price and demand that we ensure in the correlation analysis, but how much changes in the price will have a reflect in the demand. Okay, so 10% increase in price, 10% decrease in demand, or 10% increase in price, 15% decrease in the demand. Okay, that again we are measuring through at the value E, elasticity of demand. So here a regression analysis, to what extent the independent variable make a changes in the dependent variable. So here only two variable, and before we are going for the test, there are no other variables, there are no other independent variables have an impact on the dependent variables. Only one independent variable have the impact on the dependent variable, that we have to ensure, and we have to proceed the regression analysis. Of course, there are some other independent variables may influence the dependent variable. Either we have to control, or we have to keep it as a constant, or the impact will not be big. So under that assumption, we have to go for regression analysis. Okay, one dependent variable and only one independent variable. Then coming to multivariate analysis, here more than two variables. Okay, so here in multivariate, from the multiple bivariate regression I am moving. So multiple regression. Okay, I'll start with multiple regression, then we'll go for other analysis. All statistical techniques which simultaneously analyze more than two variables on a sample observation can be categorized as a multivariate analysis. So here under the multivariate analysis, more than two variables. Okay, how is it? Yes, there is one dependent variable and two independent variable. Okay, so two independent variable will have an influence on the one dependent variable. Okay, that is called as multiple regression. It is very simple. That is, there is no relation or association between these two independent variables. So the independent variable 1 and independent variable 2, there is no relationship between, or there is no much association between. However, these two independent variables have an influence on the dependent variable. Okay. So independent variable 1, okay, it has an impact 60% on the dependent variable. Then the remaining 40% by the independent, the remaining 40% impact by the independent variable 2. Okay. So what is the impact, or what is the influence by IV1 on the dependent variable? What's the influence by the independent variable 2 on the dependent variable? That is called as multiple regression. That is coming under the analysis multivariate analysis. Okay. So apart from this multiple regression, we have to learn much about this multivariate analysis. It's not ending with only with a multiple regression having two independent variable and one dependent variable. Okay. Again, in the multiple regression, when you study about multiple regression, I said that earlier, one dependent variable and another dependent variable, IV1 and IV2. So for that, again, is there any relationship between IV1 and IV2? If at all there is any relationship between IV1 and IV2, that there is a multicollinearity, that issue will exist. So that should be eliminated. So a little more complication starts. Okay. And again here, the study of intelligence, which includes test of mental skills, vocabulary, speed, recall, mental arithmetic, and so on. See here, what I said is one variable. Again, that variable is influenced by, here let it be an intelligence that is influenced by so many other factors or so many other situations, and we can't, okay, mental skills, vocabulary, everything, okay. So here the complication starts. That's why the score on each test on one variable, okay, or like that there are several of such scores, okay, for each object represented by x1, x2. So there may be several variables, and again each and every variables are influenced by some factors, okay. So it is required to study the association between one or at times many criteria variable and several independent variable. So again, here the criterion variable is nothing but dependent variable and several independent variable. Earlier I told that multiple regression, one dependent variable, two independent variable. Apart from two independent, there may be more. So we'll go for multiple regression. However, when you are going for multiple regression, you are going with more than one independent variable, two independent variable, or three. Again, if you go beyond 2 or 3, the problem of multicollinearity will exist. So again, that and all we have to take care. That can be carried out in the multivariate analysis techniques. We'll see what are the various techniques coming. Okay, so it may be required to study the association between variable having no dependency relations also. Okay, that is, I said that here one dependent variable and there are so many independent variables. In some studies or in some objective of the research study, you no need to study about the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable. What's the interrelationship between the independent variables? Okay, is there interrelated or not? Okay, is there homogeneous characteristics or not? There, the regression analysis will not be useful. Okay, so again we have to go for some other data. So it possesses the ability to analyze the complex data. It transforms mass observation into a smallest number of composite scores. So transforms mass observation into a smallest number of a composite score. Say for example, if you study the employee behavior or performance, how do we take the performance? Maybe say for example, a middle level manager or a senior manager, his performance not only based on his technical capability. Okay, so technical capability is one variable we have to take, or one factor we have to take. Can we conclude the manager is best based on only on the technical way? No, it is not possible. And if we go move further, what is his graduation, what is his degree, whether for that achieving the technical capability, is it influenced by the experience or his age or his studies, or where his schooling, or where his degree, colleges and all, is it there is any influence? Again, the technical capability is affected by some other factor. Okay, and again coming back, only based on the technical capability we cannot judge the performance. Okay, apart from the technical capability, how he is moving with the employees, very rigid or in a friendly nature. If very rigid, very so autocratic, the people won't, the subordinates won't work. Maybe the autocratic nature of working style, leadership style, may be helpful in a certain standardized work or routine work. The same thing cannot be good in some other situation, some research oriented, some development oriented work. So if the manager is in the development oriented work, or he want to get the subordinates coordination, autocratic style is not possible. So here, according to the situation, whether he is cope up with the subordinates here, whether or he is moving in a friendly, or at the same time getting the work done at the proper time. So that people skill is there or not, that we have to test. Okay. And yes, a person having a technical performance and people skill, but he is a lag in focus in achieving the results. Good, but within the time frame we want to achieve, or we have to understand or the senior manager should understand what the management is or what the company is expecting. That skill is lagged. Again, he is not fit for the managerial work. So to what extent he'll understand the organizational objective, to what extent he'll coordinate with the organizational strategy, that and all another factor to estimate the performance of the manager. And more apart from that, to what extent he is flexible, he is open to understand the anything, to understand the future. To what extent he is more predictive, more about predicting the future, and accordingly he is react, because in the key position manager, before the issues will come, they have to take the solution. To what extent he is futuristic. So everything is coming here. So analyzing the performance is not just like they're only based on one score or one thing. There are so many things. So for each and everything, we have to convert certain behavior into some scores. Okay. So we are in a position to deal with the complex data. Okay. So to work with that, one must familiar with, again, to work with this multivariate analysis, the researchers should familiar with linear algebra, vector spaces, some mathematics, orthogonal and oblique projection, and univariate analysis, and all these things. The researchers should familiar with it. Should also understand the nature and structure of the data and aim of the analysis. Nature and the structure of the data. We have to understand the data. Then only we can apply what analysis should be. And again, the researcher or the analyzer should understand what you are expecting from this data. So first we have to understand the nature of the data, and from the data what is expected. Again, the multivariate techniques broadly classified as a dependency and interdependency. So here, whether there is a dependent variable is there or not, or the variables are interdependent each other, that we have to consider. So based on the dependency and interdependency, we may classify the analysis. And if it is coming as one dependent variable or more than one dependent variable, again in the analysis, it's not that I said that in the regression only one dependent variable, but in the multivariate analysis, more than one dependent variable may be there. And again, that also we have to deal with it. And dependent variable, metric or non-metric. So here another concept is coming, metric. The data we studied about nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. The interval and ratio data or metric data, and the nominal and ordinal, that nominal and ordinal are coming into the non-metric. The first two data types are coming into the non-metric, and interval and ratios are coming into the metric. So according to the type of data, again the test will change. We can't apply all the analysis or the test for the non-metric data, that is nominal and ordinal. On the statistical test or statistical inferences are very limited for the non-metric data. Okay, so here dependent variable is metric or non-metric. Again, independent variable is metric or non-metric. I explained what is metric and non-metric. I also explained a dependent and independent. So first one is a dependent variable is metric or non-metric. Then independent variable also metric or non-metric. Okay, based on the above classification, see, metric refers to ratio and interval, non-metric refers to nominal. If you look into that picture, yes, first, yes, are there any dependent variable or not? If it is no, okay, we'll come here. If there is a dependent variable, we are moving other side. If it is no, all the variables are a metric or non-metric. There is no dependent variable, only independent variable. Okay, no dependent variable, only independent variable. So here, are the variables are metric or non-metric. Okay. No, what I am saying is no dependent variable in this data or in this analysis, only independent variable. In the independent variable, among the independent variable, whether the variables are metric or non-metric. If it is non-metric, okay, factor analysis, non-metric multi-dimensional scaling, and non-metric cluster analysis. If it is metric, okay, if the independent variables are metric, then cluster analysis, factor analysis, multi-dimensional scaling. So among the independent variables, we can say factor analysis, cluster analysis, and multi-dimensional scaling, metric or non-metric or metric. Okay, then we are moving. Yes, that is a dependent variable or there. Yes. Then is that there are more than one dependent variable? Yes means, okay, so there are dependent variables are there, and is it more than one? Yes. If it is yes, or the dependent variable are metric or non-metric. So what I am coming here is there are more than two dependent variables, one dependent variable. Okay, so the dependent variables are metric or non-metric. Okay, if it is metric, and for the dependent variable, independent variables are metric or not. Okay, so here more than two dependent variable, and whether the dependent for that dependent variable, independent variables are metric or not. Okay, if the independent variable are metric, canonical analysis lesser. If the independent variables are non-metric, ANOVA. Okay, and if the dependent variables are non-metric, conjoint analysis. Okay, it is coming here. And here, if the dependent variables are not, is there more than one DV? Yes, okay, no. This is only one dependent variable. And for one dependent variable, is it metric or non-metric? Metric. One dependent variable, metric. For the metric, one dependent variable, independent variables are metric or not. Again, independent variable, no, metric, multiple regression, MCA, and automatic interaction deduction. If independent variables are non-metric, okay, multiple regression with a dummy variable, log linear. And coming here, is the independent variable metric or non-metric? It is non-metric. Is the dependent variable or metric or non-metric? If it is metric, multiple discriminant analysis, logistic probit analysis, and the independent variable or non-metric, MCA with dummy variables, canonical analysis with dummy variables. So here MCA means multiple classification analysis. Okay, so to say, and multivariate and techniques give a broad picture about the dependent variable and independent variable, and for one, whether the dependency exists or not. If it exists, then separate classification. If it does not exist, separate classification. So here broadly classified based on dependency, interdependency, and for the dependent variable, how many independent variable. Then again, the dependent variable is metric or not, independent variable is metric or not. So like that, a complete picture about what are the various analysis is there, or we have to perform the multivariate technique explains or give an overall picture about what are the various analysis is there or not. Okay, from that we will proceed for next is ANOVA and MANOVA. Further we will discuss about all the analysis, then we will move for the test. Okay, thank you.